We're here with a real stunt coordinator, and we're gonna find out what really goes on behind the scenes to make car stunts happen. First clip. Oh, Jackie Chan.
The man.
Classic. This guy loves cars. Oh.
This is pretty, yeah.
Where is that film? Man, imagine just having just dinner or whenever this is, lunch, and this rips through your living room.
And then, hey, by the way, so we're gonna have a car come through and do that, right?
Man, that's wild. See where Fast and Furious took their inspiration from?
It's definitely a remake of it, I'll give you that. So I think a lot of this affects cable cars, and then you got intercuts of the real pieces. You can see the difference in the energy.
Yeah. And what's exploding? Like, what are they cooking? Everything explodes.
Well, you got to pay the bills.
This is Robert Nagel, and he is one of the most well-known stunt coordinators in the business. And you have easily watched all of the movies he's done.
Designing and shooting car chases and car wrecks. It's just been amazing that I can do this.
As a job.
Yes.
So I don't think a lot of people understand how long sometimes these scenes take. That has to, you think there's that multi-day? Is that all one day?
No, that's multiple days.
Multiple days?
Especially, you can see where the cuts are. And my guess is most of what you're seeing, and especially in the wide, the cars are cabled through, so they know exactly where they're going to go.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
And they'll keep motivating because they're pulling them.
And when you say cabled through, can you kind of like explain what that means?
So they'll attach a cable to a car down to a pulley and then have another vehicle actually pull it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, this looks like it was mid-'80s.
Yes.
So what has kind of like changed within that time? And also within the industry, this looks like it was in Hong Kong probably too.
Yeah, it really does look like Hong Kong. The biggest difference is here, they can't really do much to clean up with CGI. There really was, it was almost non-existent. I mean, they could go in and erase things and clean it up, but not like today where you could just replicate this and overlay it.
Right, right. I think there's a time where they just went really heavy into CGI. And I feel like they're kind of backtracking now to get that realism.
And my speech has always been, you know, there's a place and time for CGI. And it's where the marriage of the practical and the CGI come together, meaning the subject matter is real, but we can take the peripheral and play with it.
Yeah.
And it works. It's when you become the subject matter is all CG, your eye knows there's something wrong.
Yeah, cool. Let's check out the next clip. Yes! Fast and Furious! He twisted the frame! He has so much torque! This is amazing! Oh, man. I mean...
Oh, yeah. Let's get the train in there.
Yes, why not? They should shift another gear. There's always another gear.
We have like 14, 15 gears, right?
Yeah, that's real life. And you definitely hit the button more than once.
We have to.
Yep. Oh, God. Nice. It's always funny in movies when they're like, after such a tense moment, when you clearly should still be paying attention, they're like, yeah, I'm just going to look over.
What's up, bro?
Hey, man. Look out. Boom. Oh.
That's a nice pipe ramp.
Yeah, that is wild. You could see the helmet, the stunt driver, he has a helmet on. Mm-hmm. So I've seen a wheelie.
Yes.
I've seen a burnout.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen a wheelie burnout. So
now
now I have. Obviously that's movie magic, but like how do they, what's the setup here? Is that a dolly or what?
I believe in this setup they had like a sort of a center wheel that picked up the front of the car.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then that's digitally removed.
Oh, all right. Easy enough. You're saying earlier to get that car up that high, they use a pipe ramp?
It's what we call a pipe ramp, which is a rail on an angle, and then has what we call a kicker at the very end of it, and that's where you'll see the front end get flicked up in the air, and that's what starts the violent wreck.
Right.
Is that kicker.
Did he fly over the Supra?
Yeah. So
in like real life?
Yeah.
That's not imposed or anything?
There's a real camera car going under it to photograph that.
Right, right. Man, that's a lot of coordination.
It's a big talk through of where everybody needs to be at a given point.
Right.
And as long as everything matches and you do the numbers, when you do this crossover, you're fine.
Man, that seems like...
And you have to commit.
Yeah, that seems stressful. All right, let's check out another clip. Yeah, Bond, baby. Oh no!
Oops.
Just the amount of rolls. I just watched this too, and I kept rewinding and seeing how many times he kept toppling over.
I think it was 7.
It's way too many. I would have just hit her.
She was your Tinder date. What the heck?
I know it's supposed to be exaggerated, but I'm like, I mean, that's a lot.
The only CG is there's a wheel ramp that sets the car up onto the two wheels and begins the turnover. They erase that digitally. But the wreck itself is phenomenal. What's interesting, how it rotates when it's on the asphalt, and then as soon as it catches the dirt, how it just accelerates.
Right.
The reason it accelerates is it hits the ground and actually it digs in and gives the momentum to the rest of the car versus the asphalt. When it hits, it'll slide for a moment and then start to rotate.
PSA, this set the world record for car flips.
There it is.
I think it was 7.
Did it say how many?
7.
7. He's already looking it up.
So we're going to go after that one next.
Yeah.
All right, next clip.
So we call it a pod. It's sitting on the roof.
Doing that in a minivan is kind of scary because you think it's going to flip over and you're on the very top.
Correct. Good times. It's called a pod car. So what you see on top, the cockpit, we just refer to as a pod.
Right.
We move all the controls from the car up to the pod for the stunt driver to drive. Then we put the actor in the driver's seat, and the actor has to just act, not worry about them the driving. And then you can see there's mounts on the front, and that's where they put cameras looking at the actor.
Okay.
So we got the stunt driver doing the driving, you have the actor doing the acting, and it blends so well in stuff like this where these are used in really stunty positions. Works super, super well. So, I mean, it's a lot safer.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you probably have 2 or 3 cameras there, maybe some lights. You're not going to be able to see where you're going.
It's true.
And moreover, you have a professional driver doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And it just works seamlessly. It works so, so well when it's done right.
Are the controls completely disconnected from the actual driver?
The actor can do nothing except act.
Okay.
And scream.
Does this act and scream? Does the wheel even move around, or is it also fully?
It moves so that you can mimic
that's
the
what I'm
movement,
wondering.
because the camera will pick that up. So you get those little movements. If it doesn't move, you get caught.
Right.
And you're like, wait, that looked wrong.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. Next clip.
Yeah, this is great.
Yes. I hated seeing this Mustang get beat up, man.
Yeah, I'll talk to that in a minute about that.
Oh yeah.
And this gag worked out so beautifully.
So good. So this guy gets wiped on this motorcycle.
Yes.
Is that CGI? What's the safety? Is he rigged up? What do they do to kind of do that?
That's not a real rider. It's a crash dummy.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual crash dummy. With those things like $50,000, $60,000, and that's why it moves.
$50,000 or $60,000.
Just
use a human.
Bring in the next stunt guy. Hey, this one won't get up.
There's always another, man.
You should be a producer. It's kind of a comp shop, meaning there's a lead up with the real rider.
Yeah.
And then it blends into, we had a rig towing the bike that was then brought forward into the door with an explosive charge ascended end over end. 90% of this is all practical.
That's cool. How often can that dummy be used?
They're pretty tough. I mean, we did this in one take.
Okay.
And it survived. I think he's working today.
He's still working.
And by the way, so I'm the first guy to hit this car. That's the story.
Oh, really? Man. Did it ever survive the jump and then able to jump again?
Yes, this particular car we jumped 5 times.
Really?
Until finally it was just so twisted. It literally just rocked. The first Mustang we jumped completely folded when it landed. So one down. The only one left was a pod car that we had built for this film.
Really?
Which we'll see pieces of him driving, but you don't see me because I'm on the roof driving.
Right.
But we had modified the frame and suspension to the car. So when that was the last car standing, we pulled the pod off of it, made it a drivable car, and that's why it survived the jumps. Because of the mods that we made to the frame.
Because you reinforced it.
Yeah, so we it's a subframe car.
Right.
We connected the frame so it was nice and strong. Redid the whole front suspension so that we didn't know we were gonna jump it, but.
Let's check out another clip.
These big trucks are always a bit sketchy.
Really?
There's so much mass.
Oh man.
I mean, it's just, the weight is just.
It's enormous. That dummy is way too, it's got nipples. Like, why does it have to have nipples?
Because it's a special kind of dummy.
Yeah, sure is.
You get one take of this in a day. And something like this, I'd be amazed they had a second truck, but usually we have a second vehicle for another take.
Yeah.
But that is a massive undertaking to set that up. And there's not much that's usable when it's done.
Yeah, I'm just looking at how much work that all takes. Again, that's something that's maybe 15 seconds in a movie,
At best.
If that.
At best,
and that's days and days of work.
And that doesn't include all the testing, the prep, everything that went into that to lead up to this short little snippet of
Right.
oh my God, this is awesome.
So obviously all this stuff, super risky. What's that kind of feel like leading up to it? Is there fear?
Look, yeah, there's always fear. Fear is the driving force to keep everybody safe. More intense things like this, the set gets, at least the way I run the set, is very calm. Everything I do when we get to this point is so methodical.
Right.
We talk through every step, and everything is done. I have a specific cadence in how things go, so everybody falls into that and feels comfortable with what we're doing.
Very cool. Let's check out another clip.
There's so much wrong with this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a whole gaggle of future Darwin Award winners here.
That was definitely Bollywood.
Even just the camera angle stinks. Like, why would you even be there? When we're setting this stuff up, you always get, DPs or camera operators start placing cameras. Like, yeah, you can't have that there.
Yeah.
We need to have it here. Yeah, but I want it. Yeah, I know, but it needs to be here. And so that's sort of the back and forth.
Producers.
In this instant, they got really lucky. Had a wheel come off, it would have traveled right through these guys like bowling pins.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing I explain to people. Like, once we send this car in the air, physics take over.
Yeah.
I have no control at that point. What it's going to do, I can give you a best guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever battle directors that want things a certain way and because they feel like they're higher than you?
Sometimes.
And that's all, folks.
Well, look, and then if it's not safe, I'm just going to say, no, we can't do it that way.
Yeah. Next clip. Terminator? Yes, the Terminator. Here he comes, buddy.
I think this is
No idea.
my friend Robert Patrick is in this one.
Yes. Oh my God. I bet that truck keeps moving. Come on.
Oh, yeah, of course it does.
Yeah. I love that. You could see the entire car, truck folded in half, and they're like, nope, put in the new one.
Bring in the next one.
That's so great. It's so great that it's all real.
Yeah. It just has such a different feel to it.
Do you see anything in this that kind of stands out to you that's like very period correct that you wouldn't do anymore, or?
No, I would do this today.
Okay. Cool. You heard it here. So this is obviously shot on site, on location.
Yep.
This is LA. What's that like? I mean, as far as permitting and getting all that done, and are they still kind of shooting in LA? Or are they moving?
No, we're still shooting some stuff in LA. Obviously not as much, but it's a process. And when we start scouting locations and getting a director's vision, and then talking to our locations guy, what can we get? How much of this can we own? When I say own, can we block this off?
Right.
From public access and so on and so forth. So it's a big process.
Right.
So oftentimes, especially something this intense, you're going to have LAPD there setting up actual roadblocks so that you can't get through, and they're going to monitor who can get in and out of that location.
Right. All right, let's check out another clip. Yes, another classic. I wanted to do that when I was a kid.
We still do it.
Yeah, doesn't turn out well. Turns out they're not that high.
No? I mean, who hasn't driven down the freeway going, I go drive under that?
That's iconic because of the Honda Civics, what they're doing, the location. The movie now is infamous, so that's pretty cool. But there's no way those trucks are that high.
No, it's a modified trailer for sure. But it has a great feel to it. And I like how it narrows down and really pushes into it.
Yeah, driving under a big rig, not a good idea, right?
No. I mean, this is all staged and set up and very meticulously planned.
Right, yeah. So what Robert's saying is, please don't do this at home or on the freeway.
Correct.
Home would be hard. All right, another clip.
Oh, this.
Oh, man.
You're not thinking that.
He sure is.
Yep.
Let's go, Bond. Nothing could stop you. Not even this perfectly engineered ramp.
I know.
The music is so good. And what did he fall back on? This just looks like a mat. What? How big is the car? That's all real, right?
The jump is real.
Do you know anything about how they carried this out in the sense of how many times it took, or?
It was all engineered, and they tested it, and the correct speed. This is exactly, as long as you hold that speed and get to it, it's exactly what you'll get every time. It's a great gag, actually. It pains me that they have that whistle in it. It's like, why?
Is there ever a time that you were so proud of a stunt and you just watched it and they just totally ruined it in post?
Yeah, but there's been a couple where they cut at a point and like, what? It was just getting.
I mean, it's like your baby. It's like your masterpiece, but it's kind of out of your hands at a certain point, which
it is.
safety standards, they've been changing in the industry for years and years. Would this even be able to be recreated? Does that make your job more challenging?
We could do this today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, it's coming down with a list to the studios for their safety department. They want to know that we've covered everything.
Right.
What if this happens? What if that's happening? What are we doing to mitigate all these steps to make it as safe as possible?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's completely safe.
Right.
But we've thought about everything. I mean, we'd have a more substantial cage. Guy would be in a proper helmet and fire suit and pads and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
they just don't build them like they used to.
they did some
Dude,
pretty
old school
hairball
stunt guys
stuff.
are insane.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Next clip. Oh. Oh my God.
And we did. We sent off so many cars out of this parking structure.
Really?
Yeah.
How much of this is real?
A lot of it.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of real, and then there's
Those, you could
they'll
always tell.
Digi cars, and then there's also they'll replicate stuff.
This is like a one-shot thing, right? You
Yes.
don't get another shot.
Yeah. I mean, the raining cars was one shot, and then we had cars coming in and just slamming into this dog pile, if you will.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different angles that we shot. But yeah, once we start sending the cars, you got to you're in it.
Just let it ride.
You're in it.
How many cameras do you think, just so you make sure you get the shot, are set up?
I think for this, I'm guessing, but there's probably a good 10 cameras set up
10 cameras.
to get all the different pieces. Because like you said, you're gonna get one try at this.
Yeah.
So we shot this in Cleveland for New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Those architecture is very similar as long as you don't look up too high.
This is like kind of a crazy idea, but kind of not at the same time.
Yeah.
But has anybody ever came to you with an idea? You're like, I don't know, man.
It has more to do with asking about a gag that just physically is impossible.
Yeah.
We can do it with effects and VFX, but I like to live in the world of real.
Yeah.
And so if you look at a lot of the work I've done, they're all practical and doable and grounded in reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's asks of like, but yeah, that wouldn't do that. But that's what I want. Okay.
Ooh. Outside of that, you just ask, hey, you got the money? What happens to these cars after?
That's a good question. I think they all go back. A lot of them come out of the junkyard
Robert's
and
like,
probably go back to a junkyard.
Not my problem.
Yeah. I wreck them, I walk away. And so,
Who do I need to talk to get one of these that have an LS?
which one you want? I'll set you up.
Perfect. All right, let's check out another clip.
We brought Keanu out, trained him how to drive. He's a phenomenal driver and stunt driver, and that allowed us to be able to put him in a lot more of the shots. He never, in all our stunt driver training and stuff, he never blew through his mark. He never gave me any concern or any reason to think he couldn't do this.
He's so methodical in
Is
everything
he?
he does and super critical of himself.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, I was off an inch. No, you're great. No,
You're doing fine.
I gotta get back. I want to get that inch.
Yeah. Got good car control.
Yep.
Keanu is gonna
Super,
drive
super
up
capable.
and basically slide his car into Avi. So we wanted a shot where Keanu would slide a 90 right up in the camera, and he, from 100 yards away, comes speeding up at the Navy Yard. If anything went wrong, it was so cold that
Really?
foot drop. If Keanu goes to the right, this is like he's dropping 50 feet. He's done to concrete. You're not going to walk away from that.
Profile is 3, 2, 1, and wham.
Is he on cables
No,
to stop that? No.
free drive. It's all free drive.
Really?
Yep.
Keanu, please stop by the
He
studio
nailed
so I
it.
can talk to you.
Nailed it.
That was cool. Keanu is a good example of a good person as far as to work with. Have you worked with people that are like really, really tough to be like, hey, like you got to cut this out, or maybe this isn't for you, or they just won't take your instruction?
It's more just navigating the personality.
Gotcha.
Just finding how to connect with them.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that. Keanu's super easy to connect with. Some people aren't, but you get there.
Obviously, he had to stop on a dime exactly where they wanted the marks, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys calculate what is safe and where you guys want that? Because he just said that he's going to fall 50 feet if he doesn't hit the mark right. So,
Yeah, it's a little exaggeration, but yeah.
so
In this instance, it's completely free drive. He's practiced this over and over again. And it's really about seat time.
Right.
And if you look at the clip, you'll see there's a cone down.
Right.
And that's his mark that he's referencing everything off of.
Right.
And this goes back to with the beginning of the clip where you see him sliding around with the Crown Vic. And,
Yeah.
and that's getting the seat time to understand the car control and how to slide it up to that mark. I probably would have spent maybe at most a day with him on this because
Okay.
he's that good.
Cool.
He really is.
So it just comes down to the person.
Yeah, and at the same token, I try and overtrain the actors because when we get on set, there's so much more going on.
Yeah.
And there's so much more pressure. So if I can get them to here when they only need to be to here,
Right.
on the day when we're filming it, They're far more comfortable.
Yeah, makes sense. Next clip.
I like this film.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Really fun. Yeah.
Backwards driving is always funny because like sometimes I'm like, there doesn't go that fast.
He's not going backwards. The body's been flipped around.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
We did a similar gag on Talladega Nights.
I feel like you just blew my mind. And my whole time I'm like, dude, these stunt drivers are insane going backwards.
Oh, we are. We're insane.
Yes, the level of insanity is there. But I can't wait to ruin this for my wife. That's funny. I didn't know that they flipped the body.
If you watch it frame by frame, you'll see the rear tires.
Move a little?
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Oh my God. Did anyone here know that?
You're welcome. I
No
ruined
one,
it for
right?
everybody.
All right. In the comments, did anyone know that? I need to know.
I'm sure there's a cop.
I thought I knew a good amount,
You're welcome.
but not always, right?
Not always. Nothing's ever always.
Tell me it's real, Robert.
It's all real.
Oh,
it's all
man.
okay. It's okay.
It's like I met my hero.
Did that just
That
break your
really
brain?
did. Yeah, like that's the simplest thing I would have thought of. But in my head, I was like, I mean, they do crazy things. And out of all of it, they're like, we're just not going to have you go backwards.
Yeah. It's completely repeatable, safe.
Yeah,
And,
that checks out.
and you can run at speed.
Very cool. All right, well, Robert, thank you so much. I've learned a little. I've laughed a lot. If you want to see anything else on RMS, click one of these links, check it out. Let us know what you want to see. Until next time.